It has been way too long since we have been able to come to Japan to enjoy the CP Plus. Now we are back at CP Plus 2023. I had the chance to talk to the Sigma CEO Kazuto Yamaki-san and talking about the first 10 years of the Sigma Global Vision program, a new 18 to 35mm, maybe for mirrorless cameras and way more stuff. So stay tuned and enjoy. So after the first 10 years in the Sigma Global Vision program, what are your personal top three lenses?
Top three lenses?
Yeah, you most like.
Well, very difficult question. But
absolutely.
Let's say, probably the number 3, 105mm f1.4. Oh no, maybe 14mm f1.8.
Also a good one.
It's very good lens, great lens for astrophotography. It changed the way to take the astrophotography. So I was very happy with that implementation. Number 2, 18 to 35 f1.8 for crop sensor camera. It was very well accepted by the videographers and the cinematographers, which we did not realize when we were developing it, but it was a great surprise for us. And this lens is still being used by many videographers and cinematographers, which was really great pleasure for me. Number 1 is, of course, 35mm f1.4, the first out lens, and I personally use a lot to take pictures. So for me, 35 1.4 DG HSM is the number 1 lens.
For me as well, even though I can't decide between the DG-ASM and the new DG-DN, the older one is a little bit more compact in a way, I would say, and the DG-DN is definitely higher quality, especially in the image corner.
Yes.
So I just switched from the HSM to the DG-DN because
Thank you very much.
Like you already mentioned the 18 to 35mm lens, which was a great success, and especially for video shooting people, let's say, with a converter on a Lumix GH6 or other cameras. So it's a great lens. So I was surprised when you started converting many lenses for mirrorless cameras that the 1835 wasn't in it and still is not. So is there a special reason? Is the lens so important that you want to make it right in a way, or is there some technical issue, or is APS-C not that important anymore?
No, there is no technical issue. It's just a matter of the priority. We prioritize to convert the existing lenses, which were originally designed for DSLR, into the mirrorless system. The mirrorless system has different focusing system, so we had to change the lens design from the scratch. That goes very well with a mirrorless autofocus system. So we needed to renew the standard kind of standard lenses, and not the standard focal lenses, the standard lenses for mirrorless. But moving forward, we will release more exotic, unique products. So such new product may contain the kind of lens you mentioned this time. Yes.
Okay, let's keep it like that. Fingers crossed. Yeah, absolutely. So we already talked about the Corona pandemic and how it influenced the CP Plus as a convention, but of course the entire camera industry, not just Sigma, but the entire industry, was hit with a lot of supply chain issues. So was Sigma affected, and are you still affected, or has it relaxed for most part?
Of course, Sigma was not the exception. We are also affected by the pandemic, but compared to the other major manufacturer, we are much better situation, because, as you know, we produce all products in Japan, and all of our suppliers are also located in Japan. So our supply chain is very simple, and we work very close together. We are very close to each other. Most of the suppliers located in the north part of Japan. So that part was not locked down entirely, and we could continue the operation. So when it comes to the factory operation and the delivery, we're much better than other company who makes most of the products outside Japan. And we didn't stop the delivery. during this pandemic. And I really appreciate such a hard work of our factory staff and also our suppliers.
So already talking about supply chain issues and corona-related delays, I know a Foveon-based mirrorless camera is up on the priority list, probably even of yourself and for Sigma and a lot of customers. So any news you can share on that matter?
Unfortunately, I don't have the updated news. We are still working on the new sensor technology. We are now working on the new pixel structure, and also we are trying the new, let's say, process technology, different from the existing Foveon X3 sensor, which is challenging. And every time we run the wafer and get the prototype sensor, we find some minor technical issue. We are narrowing down the problem, but still we have some issues to be resolved. And once we resolve those issues, we will be able to have the final full frame prototype sensor. And if it works, we can work on the camera.
Originally, I was going to ask how the progress on the Nikon Z and Canon EOS RF front is, but for good, it's changed. So you now announced here at CP Plus 3 new lenses for the Nikon Z mount. So a first step into a good direction for many customers. So let me ask more directly, what's about Canon EOS RF? I know that's not just a Sigma-related issue, maybe even more a Canon product strategy, product planning issue. But can you give us any update or information on the progress on Canon EOS RF?
We are aware that there are great demand for the Sigma R-mount lenses. I travel a lot and visited many dealers all over the world to understand the market situation. Every time I visit retailers or press people or some photo club, everybody asks the same question. We are very aware. And also we believe it's our mission to support as many camera systems as possible. So I personally really want to support those customers, but we need to investigate the market. We need to investigate and see the market situation. And if there's an opportunity for us, I would definitely like to support the customers.
Is there really a, let's say, difference in what people, photographers demand depending on the region? So let's say a macro lens is probably more popular in East Asia, meanwhile in Europe, I don't know, it's a portrait lens or a wide angle lens. Is there such difference worldwide?
I've been in this industry almost 30 years. So compared to the market situation, market geographic at that time, a long time ago, I think the market each local market get more and more similar. I guess it's probably the influence of the internet. So the market demand in each region get very similar, but still there are some differences I see. For example, in India, the portrait lens or wedding photo lenses are very popular because wedding photography is so popular over there. When it comes to macro, actually it's very popular in Europe.
Oh.
Yes, probably they live close to forest and they can capture some flowers or mushrooms, insects very easily. So I see some small differences, but in general, the customers' demand are device finding. Everybody has their own preference on the lenses. So moving forward, we'd like to expand our product lineup to satisfy the customers' demand.
As we all know, smartphones are, I don't know, kind of a threat or maybe a tough competition for, let's say, classic photography with bigger cameras. So is there something that the traditional camera industry can learn, can take from smartphone photography and the success of smartphone photography?
To be honest, I'm amazed by the progress of the smartphone, how good image quality they can produce. So there are many great technology that we have to learn from them. Almost in history, almost all innovation have come from the consumer products, not the high-end products. So everything in history, all the new technology emerged from the low-end products. So there must be lots of technology we have to learn. But at the same time, those who have a passion of photography still use high-end cameras and lenses. So by introducing the new technology developed by the smartphone, we can even better products with better sensor, better lenses, better optics. So we will continuously strive to deliver the even better products for the serious photographers all over the world.
What are your first impressions of the CP Plus 2023, where we are glad to be back here after 3 years of COVID-related breakdown? So what are your first impressions of the CP Plus, and how are the customers reacting to finally be back?
I see the visitors here are very happy to have the CP Plus this year after pandemic. Some people say that exhibition doesn't work for business, but our industry is different because, as I said, this industry was supported by the passion of the people who are involved in this industry. Photographers, consumers, manufacturers, press people, retailers, everybody has a passion on photography or imaging. So we need this kind of opportunity to get together and talk to each other and exchange the passion, feel the passion of each other. So I think this kind of show or exhibition is very important. We should maintain this kind of show in the future too. I always appreciate the great support from our users and customers. Without their support, we could not continue the business and we could not come this far. So we have obligation to give the return to the customers. We will continuously work hard to deliver the even more innovative and even more exciting products. And our mission is to contribute to the development of photo culture, imaging culture.
Thank you so much for the interview and taking time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Or was it Japanese? Arigatou gozaimashita.
Oh yes, your Japanese perfect.
ありがとう。